Hi everyone, it's Adrienne Leah. I'm doing a reading. I'm wearing some of the stuff that I wore when I was out. I actually wore another hat, but this is a hat that I finished the first of this year, and I love the way that it turned out. It's super cozy, and I used scraps and didn't add a pom pom because it is technically like an elf hat. I did have to change colors, but I think it's nice. I have this scarf that I finished weaving that last year. It was last fall, and it's really long, so I could wrap it around twice and it's still going to reach around. It'll be past my hips, and then, well, right now I have it like this and it's to my knees, so I just have it like this. So I had to see how it, where it would be if I wrapped it around. And then this is a test knit. The pattern is the Candelariella pullover. It's a pattern by a Ukrainian knitwear designer. I test knit this in October, and I had a month deadline. Technically, it was extended an extra week, but I was already running out of yarn, so I I have the sleeves folded. Um, so today, this is a reading, but I end up just saying a bunch of random stuff. I was thinking about getting pins because my sewing machine is working. It's my vintage Singer sewing machine. It's a 1954 one. Um, and it is made near my area, which is pretty special. So, um, I thought this was meant to be. So this was on sale for like $2, and it's the Quilter starter pin set. Like one of the main things is that I have I have a lot of pins in my storage unit. So this is like a Quilter's starter pin set. So the pin size is 28. Um, 1 3/4 of an inch, or 44 millimeters, and then there's safety pins. So these are um, good for when you have multiple fabrics and you're able to put them together. So that's why it's that size. Because I was thinking I have a couple of ideas for what I want to sew aside from garments. I also wanted to do some different quilt designs and put them on project bags. I love project bags. I appreciate the um when it's made by the artist. They're when I'm trying to get a project bag, I usually like it to be like, I suppose it's like a jumbo size because when I see some of the large project bags, I feel like they're not large enough for the amount of yarn that I want to put in the bag because work with, I do a lot of garment knitting and I mainly do color work. So it's a type of knitting where you tend to use more than you would use more than one color. So I like to keep all the colors together and I want to have it as a garment quantity. So I just feel like the smaller bags, it can't fit the amount of yarn that I want, again, as I said. So that is a thing. And I was watching a couple of quilting videos and I really love like the quilted improv houses using different types of fabrics and you can use the leftover stuff of the leftover things and and of course you can go for like it can be improv with the different type of combinations. I feel that I would like to do the houses in different environments too because um, I've moved so much over the years and I'm moving again for a period of time and then I'm moving again. So I know at least there's two moves that I'm doing. Um, Most likely like not too far, like not too spaced out. And um, I was thinking of doing the maybe the houses on the shorelines because they have a specific, and depending on where you are, um, like those types of houses in different parts of the world, like maybe in, I feel like Newfoundland and even along the northeast, um, where I'm at right now. And I'll see some of the West Coast things. I was also thinking when I had to do the traveling to house it, I might look at the fabric districts. I don't know if I'm going to go to the New York one because my storage unit is the opposite direction, and I was thinking I would probably either move the storage unit completely or at least there I will get some stuff out of the storage unit. So if that's the case, then I might just rest a bit and then go to the one on the West Coast that's in Los Angeles. And so I had to make sure, but I was thinking about going there. And the other types of, well, for those trips, I would like to get some fabrics for garments, and then for the other types of houses, I was thinking of like the primitive style. So it is one of the American decor styles that you see, and do like more of the patriotic type of improv quilting design, and maybe a colonial house, do maybe, and then maybe dog houses, a barn with like a cow. I love Highland cows, they're my favorite. And maybe like a thatched roof type of home, like uh with the Highlands, with like the UK, and I've been doing a lot of Ukrainian everything. So I was also thinking about getting or seeing the types of fabrics have that I could use for um, a Ukrainian home. And um, I will also do more of the traditional quilt patterns, and then I'll want to have it on like a project bag. I like the drawstring one. I'm sorry, it's 10 minutes in. With the I like the drawstring. I prefer it without the zipper for project bags. I prefer like a bag that closes for a purse or a bag that I'm carrying my other things. But project bags that don't have a zipper are nice because you don't act oh my god, I feel like I'm constantly doing that lately. So you don't accidentally zip up your project and um maybe snag it or like the yarn if it's not yet knit into it. So and then I would want to have some interfacing. I would like it to be a little more structured at the bottom too. And more of, I like the rope as the drawstring, but I can see other types of um, materials that I could use that might be nice for it too. But I do really feel like durability is one of the main things for creating something because I want it to be something that's structurally sound. So I'm gonna start pulling out cards. I'm sorry. And because you put the effort to create these things, you want it to be like a lasting project or product. And that's like, I also wanted to like bring up credentials too. I know that's been something for me. And it was kind of like one of those conversations of why like, oh, Adrian, what are you doing with your life and what kind of direction or plans that do you have? And I do have plans. They're coming together not as quickly as I was um planning, but that's another thing with kind of improv and you do plan other things too. It's so because I do feel like it's important right now to really not only find a place and like that type of home, but also um, an environment that has people that stand by you or a person or people that stand by you. I know it was a little, well, I think we are adults now, my brother and I. And I felt like over the years, he wasn't really much of a brother. He was more of like a person that tried to be another parent to me. And there was like a little bit of indifference or disinterest, at least the way that I was perceiving things. This is why I don't really like say anything, because like if I say something, it's like um, dismissive. And that was kind of like the conversation that was coming up. And I feel like personalities are different as or people. So we wouldn't, our conversations would just kind of like that because I feel like just by seeing his place, it's filled with all the sports things that you would see because, well, he loves sports, but he also works for the Phillies too. So that's his job. He's like on the technical end of it, but it it's kind of like his type of thing. And um I don't know. I mean, I don't really talk to my family that much, and I haven't seen them in years, both my brother and my parents, until recently. So it was just kind of like a lot for us, for everyone. So for the present, you have the lovers. And it's interesting. Well, I mean, it's not a surprise that the lovers is linked to Gemini, so it is almost one of the same. But how are you reacting with somebody that is different? I'm also getting like speculation. There feels like there's a lot of obstacle cards here, and there's a lot of overcoming the obstacles. Well, looking at these cards, because the other cards that are in the reading, there's one of them for the positions. So you have the Ten of Cups, the Strength, and the Nine of Wands. It almost feels like being able to be in somebody else's territory or vice versa. Because even wolves in their packs, they know when they cross the line into another pack of wolves territory. Um, and then they have, like, you'll see the charts of the different packs and where their territories lie. So there is that sense of respect there, but the obstacle is that it almost feels like the odd one out with the Nine of Wands because, and it could also be like taking over somebody else's territory in a way too, trying to obtain or being able to uphold certain standards, but there is that push and pull of the lover's energy too. And with the strength card, it does feel like stay strong because I know that was like one of the conversations that my best friend was having, like when she was on the phone with me, because I was talking about something because I wasn't like going out of my way to house it or anything. And it's almost like don't let them get you down or don't let them try to almost manipulate or bully you into being something that you're not. Like it's going into um, a stance where you're in the environment and you're trying to stay at least alive or safe. There, it just feels like there is that energy of walls that um, close in on itself because there's that. It does feel like a level of I know this is happening, and it's that anticipation that other stuff is happening too. And how to overcome the obstacle, you have the Eight of Cups with the Eight of Pentacles, so 8 and 8, which tends to be fast energy with the eights. The Eight of Wands isn't here, but I also feel like Wands energy might not be far off from this. I feel that it's going into an area that's already established. And it is a little of feeling like somebody already started something or there was like a life that was already started um, without you being there. And then it's like going into the environment and seeing and kind of adapting to what has already been built without you and making sure that you can still stand tall in the midst of all the changes because it seems almost uneven with the lover's energy because you have the strength and the 10 of cups. And it could have been even like a head start too for these cards, as if something just says that somebody might be trying to quickly build something with the Page of Swords, as in preparation for when the other lover, not other lover as if there's like multiple lovers, but other, when the person arrives or like when the time is right, then there is like a readiness of basically having ducks in a row. And also, there is a saying that was like made into another saying, and it's like feed two birds with one scone, which kind of goes with the Lovers card too. So, if we're thinking about one stone, oh my god, one scone, it's maybe having that foundation that can be strong to uphold both the people that are in the Lovers card. It looks like there are different stages of life here too, as if like cycles or timelines. Because with the Ten of Cups being in the obstacle, it does feel like an energy of like, I don't feel love here. And the sunflower and the strength card, it's almost looking for the sun. It's like there isn't a sun here. So I'm not saying it's not in the correct environment, but in a place or it's a time where it's different than when you would find it to naturally thrive. So there is a type of thing where it's finding other ways to evolve and different types of evolution that comes with it based off of what has happened and even the footprints or like the prints that we I'm sorry, the prints that we leave on Earth. Um and I was looking or I saw like dogs that lived in I remember the name, like where there was like the power plant and the environment has so much of what came out of the power plant. Um, Churn. Mm, I know people are gonna be like, they know it. I feel like they're gonna know anyway. So the dogs that are there still, they did evolve and adapt based off of the type of environment. I'm not saying it's always going to be that type of dangerous environment, but this can be linked to that just because of the positioning of the cards and looking like for some reason like this territory is being told like this is either moved or it's trying to be like taken or told that's for some reason it doesn't seem like it feels a little misplaced in a way and that could be the response of maybe like we're a little literal firing back with it because that could be like the sense of obstinance or the sense of being able to have that type of revolutionary actions that um, uphold that sense of standard for the humankind because even if it's not like written down, there is the it is a given to have humans live in um, like they shouldn't live in certain ways. That's inhumane, is what I was trying to get at. And then the overall energy is the moon card. It feels like this energy that I've been getting, it feels low. Like there's fatigue with it. And it's not surprising because you have the Nine of Wands in the obstacle, and that can be problematic too because that has like the last energy and the last will to put up that fight. Like as my best friend was like, you still got fight in you. You um don't don't like deplete that energy and don't be lifeless like that. So the past is the Ace of Swords. This looks like news or confirmation that was received in a way. Then I don't feel like it was necessarily the best news because um you have the Seven of Swords combined with the Ace of Swords. And with the Seven of Swords, I'm not saying it's like somebody tattletaled on you, but it does feel like that type of energy where it feels a little underhanded. If somebody didn't, like somebody could have did that thing. And it could also be a comment too. I remember like when I was talking to my other friend that I used to work with, she called me the other day. One of the things was like, because I was updating her on like all this stuff because we haven't talked in a long time. And we were talking about like the place that we work together at. And I was telling her something about like a little a confrontation I had with somebody there, and she was like, "Girl, why are you beefing with an old man?" And I'm just like, I mean, I wasn't trying to start anything, and honestly, I don't really like if people can say like I've heard people say insulting things to me to my face and then behind my back, and I'm just like, okay. Um, if I feel like it wasn't, even though it wasn't, you don't have to do anything if something isn't justified, but I was like, I'm not gonna sit back and like um have him blindly think it's how this is what it's gonna be, and like for him to think that it's okay. Because I was um one of the things is like me, well, the thing that happened, I've said this in another video, is that like I was moving from the area and I didn't know anybody from the area, so um he was working part-time, like basically 1 or 2 days a week, and I was working full-time. I had the most hours there, and I was in charge of a lot of the things, and I was trying to like get things done, like I was on my phone. And I know you can't really be on your phone at work. I mean, I'm again, I do a lot there, and or at the pharmacy that I was working at, and I was I see if they might be going through something, or if like there's something, you know, that I'm like, Adrian, just maybe chill a little bit. But I was just like, you literally work like 1, 2 days a week. Like, I'm not upset about your schedule, but don't micromanage the fuck out of me. So, um, basically, I was working on things, and as I said, when I was moving, I moved like around 10 a.m. one day. I didn't finish moving everything until 4:30 a.m. the next day, and I still had work, and I still went in, and I was opening. So it was like irritating the fucking life out of me. So I don't think I like started shit necessarily. I just was um, like you could tell though that it was not okay. So it wasn't one of those screaming matches, to say the least. But there is an upper hand in a way. And I just feel like, because like there's the two feathers there, it's almost like speaking on behalf for both of the parties, or like working for both of them. If you're meant to be like the breadwinner or meant to be like a person that helps or provides, I'm not reading for gender. It seems like being able to have a head on your shoulders, and honestly, it does make sense because it's the King of Pentacles, and that could have to do with finances too. And um, going up in whatever career that you pursue or path that you pursue, whatever you want to do. Because I know, like, at least I can't say for other countries, but in the US, I noticed that there's like, um, it's expensive is when you're trying to get a place. And sometimes, like, even people that are divorced or like broken up, they still live together because if they broke the family or the house unit, it's really difficult to get a place because I was outside of DC when and I can't say this for every area, but they wanted to make sure that it was my pay and then three times, and then they would do like the math for if you could be qualified to live in that complex, whatever or wherever you wanted to live. And it's a lot. So I do see a lot of that, and I was going to say something else. I just feel like there's a lot of confrontation too, and there might be a different way of doing things because I feel that again with different cycles, like with the Lovers card, it's not necessarily the worst position. I feel as different again cycles go on, it might be a way of it could be mending or it could be doing things differently. Um, Maybe in the past it would have been like a type of again like screaming match or like shit show, something that just like went completely downhill. But I I'm getting that there might be like a chance to revolutionize something or to make something better than it was before. And it can be yourself, and I'm getting like it can be um a unit too. But regardless, the King of Pentacles, I feel like it's like one person, but it can represent like multiple, and it goes with the Lovers card. So it's it's an interesting thing because you have again with multiple people on this card, and yet it can be one or both. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in another video. Bye.